Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be discussing the Reforged event that has been going on for like the last 6 weeks, and it's got just less than a week left, so it's a very long event. It's kind of just been going on in the background. You guys know when you did war, you did actually get these as like milestone rewards, these little like packages. You could hand them in for rewards of your choice. I believe when I first calculated it, you could get roughly enough resources to max out 2 characters of your choice, or obviously spread the resources around a bit, but it was enough to do 2 full characters if you wished. And we also got some pulls from those milestones as well, but I won't really say that was part of the Reforged event. That was kind of just a side thing. There was a wheel. I will be doing my pulls later on in the video when I go over that wheel, but let's get into the grey market stuff itself and what I think about it in terms of the future. So here we have the Reforged market, and you can see I can actually claim something just extra right now. I can get some more Bernadettes, and I think this has been really good. Personally, I think this has been a really good addition, and I would love to see something similar to this, if not like almost identical to this, to run with every single war season. Like it could start with the war season, these could go into war milestones, and you're just giving out at least, I would say, enough to max out 1 character. So if you're new to the game, you can just directly max out the war character that you're going to be getting periodically over the course of the war, or you can again choose whatever character you want in your roster. You can choose whatever rewards you want. If you're really low on military supplies, you could go all in on military supplies. I was really low on Maddox and Madeleines and the medals, and that's why I went in on these. And I was very happy to get quite a lot of this stuff. I obviously am going to be leveling up my characters, tearing up my characters, so this is very useful for me. And I'm think a lot of people potentially would have gone in for silvers. Again, I see a lot of people complaining about they don't have a lot of silvers. This was very good price value for silvers. I probably could have got all 50 silvers here without too much of a problem, because like the gold gear medals were very expensive. But again, I don't mind that. I understand they're the top tier stuff, but I've actually kind of been wanting this sort of thing to happen with war for a while. I'm not a big fan of how war is structured personally. It has been getting better with the war seasons. I like that quite a lot with the character that's been added in the depot here. As you can see, we've got like Ronaldo and then the returning characters. I like that. But when it comes to Reforged, I thought it was just such a good addition. It reminded me so much of the Total War missions that happened in the past, and I would say that was probably the best time I've warred, honestly. It gave me something to aim for, to do constantly. I like that quite a lot. Although there were some issues in those missions, like you had to be in a war to get an update on a particular mission progress there, but otherwise it was pretty good, and I think they've done pretty well here again in the actual Reforged shop. The other thing, of course, is the Reforged wheel. Now, while this is part of the Reforged event, it was pretty separate. It was just a milestone. I think it was it 150k in normal wars and 75k in blitz wars, and you got 10,000 of these tokens. I think you could get up to 5. I got the 5, and they did give compensation of 1, which I don't think I got one of the pulls. Basically, I've got a 5 pull right now, and I'll do my 5 pulls. The issue with this wheel obviously was the fact that while they were all previous 10% characters, which obviously don't exist anymore, but they were all previous 10% characters, some of them were quite old and some of them were not as useful when it comes to actual war itself. And you know, when there's only a handful of characters that you need, it would have been nicer to just have, like, honestly, I would have preferred just a choice box of all of these characters, where I could choose one of these characters rather than having RNG of 5, because I'm pretty sure I only need like 2 of these characters, like Tara and Veronica. I'm pretty sure that's it. Maybe Jesse Anderson, you know, I might have her at LB2. I've been getting Mr. Lose so much, so I'm almost guaranteed to get Mr. Lose here. I'm going to pull on Vance. We're going to see what we can get. I've got 5 pulls. Yeah, we need just 1 Tara. I'll be happy with a Tara. Don't care what else I get, really. Tara's the only, like, success. Only Tara's going to be good. Only Tara. Only Tara. Well, Jesse Anderson's an upgrade. Of course I get a Mr. Lose. So you can kind of see where the situation here is with this wheel. It's mainly bits. Considering how hard it was to get, you know, the actual tokens consistently for some people. Like I said, I think the selection of characters wasn't great, and also the fact that it's pure RNG as well isn't too great. So personally, I think in the future, if the Reforged stuff was to return, they could almost completely scrap this part of it. I don't think this added anything to the Reforged event. It was just RNG. It was a point of contention within the community that I could see constantly. they'd be better off improving the actual area in the store, you know, the Reforged area of the store, rather than having a character section. Just don't make it a character-based event. Just make it resources to upgrade your characters, and I think that would be 100% taken fine by the community personally. Because I've seen a lot of people doing exactly what I'm doing right now when it comes to the pulls they got on that wheel. Even if they've, you know, not got a huge amount of promo characters and stuff, they've got a lot of these characters already. And there's more guild bits. I am going to be able to upgrade Jesse Anderson, however. I think that's going to be LB3. Let me just double check. And it would be LB3. So that's her done. You can see I needed that Tara. I'll just get Jesse Anderson upgraded. So yeah, I'm not really that happy about it, honestly. It is what it is, but I'm not really that annoyed, just because I just did not really see this as part of the main event. I saw that the grey market was honestly the big deal. But did you guys feel the same way? Did you think that the Reforged event added something to the game when it comes to the rewards? The fact that it was choice rewards, effectively you were getting the items to choose the item you wanted in the Reforged depot? Or did you prefer the older war style where it was set rewards by Scopely? It could be better rewards, but it also could be worse, and you don't get the choice. It could be a trainer that you don't need. It could be a medal that you don't need. I have run a poll on my channel, and I'll link it in the top comment of this video if you want to vote. And it basically asks you, would you want to see Reforged return in future war seasons to run alongside the wars? And the answers are basically yes, I would like events like Reforged for future war seasons, or no, I do not like events or rewards like Reforged for future war. If you don't mind, you can click I don't mind, but if you would like to vote on that, I would appreciate that. I will pass on the results of that poll to Scopely, and they can obviously do whatever they want with it. If you have any further thoughts on Reforged, you can leave them in the comments on the poll or in this video. Personally, I think that just constraining the rewards just around character upgrading, you know, rather than adding things like armory rewards or anything like that, just make it purely upgrade based. They could potentially add in certain types of gear, be it like ghillie suits and, you know, fire starters. I've seen a lot of people complain about they're not having a huge amount of those, and I think it takes 7 of each to max out a character, I believe. So that's a number I've got in my head somehow. So if they wanted to add like maybe, I don't know, 28 of those crates this season, that's just enough to max out 2 characters. It's not too crazy, I don't think. All that's going to do is save people time farming on the world map, and that's pretty much it. So I think that's pretty nice. Again, like I say, this is the premier event. War is the premier event, so rewarding people to upgrade the characters that they're going to use in the premier event just seems like a smart move to me. We'll have to see what Scopely decide to do for future war seasons, but this is definitely a great addition, even though I think it was originally limited time. But I think it has turned out that it could potentially be a permanent thing that would make a really big improvement to war. And the fact that people get a choice is such a big plus. Like I say though, guys, any thoughts you have in the comments down below. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.